Bye, love you.
And I am traveling. Right now I am in Europe for the next couple of months. I'm excited and can't believe that this is my life right now. Yeah, it's just kind of nuts. So I'm sitting here in a city in Spain and it's just crazy. And if you are dreaming of full-time traveling, do what you have to do and do it. Okay, so at the beginning of this trip, I was supposed to be flying from Orlando to New York City, spend a night in New York City and see a play, Mean Girls, because Broadway was my life in New York, and then fly from New York City to Barcelona with a layover in London. Sorry, checking my notes. So that morning, August 23rd, I believe, I had a great morning with my sister. She dropped me off. I wasn't very sad. I was just excited for my trip to start. Went to check in for my plane, and from then on, it was just disaster after disaster. So first I got there, and it's complicated. I bought 2 round-trip tickets from New York City to Orlando and back, just because of different date. Anyways, it's so complicated. But I didn't use the first half of one flight of one of the round trips, which invalidated the second part. I didn't realize that it would do that, so when I got there, my itinerary didn't exist. So thankfully, Spirit had some angels working there, which I know people have had trouble with because it's a budget airline, but I got lucky. Sorry guys. And they booked me on a flight for later that night. I was gonna get into New York City with just enough time to see my play. Unfortunately, this meant that I wasn't going to be able to see friends or whatever, but I had spent like $70 on this ticket, last minute ticket to see Mean Girls on Broadway. So we take off, we're fine, and then just as we're about to land, they come over the intercom and all this crazy windstorm is happening around Newark. And so we just circle for an hour and a half at least. At about an hour in, they cleared us for landing. We go, and I'll get to this later, but I lost this footage. We're landing, and just as our wheels are about to land, we took off again and then into the wind, and it was crazy turbulent. Probably the most scared I've ever been on a plane. I'm typically a fairly good flyer, but there I was just holding on going, planes are made for flying, planes are made for flying, planes are made for flying, over and over again. So we finally landed. I missed my play, went out for dinner with my friends, which ended up being wonderful. The next day I got up, had lunch and dinner with my friends again, and then went to the airport to fly to London. All was well, or so I thought. So we fly to London, we're late, I missed my connection. They booked me on a trip for later that night, so it was fine, straight to Barcelona. So at this point I was so tired, and during my flight from New York City to London, I'd gotten a cold. The night before I'd kind of started sneezing. I just thought it was allergies from New York, and then literally on the plane I could feel the symptoms progressing. I couldn't sleep because the sinus pressure was so bad. It felt like a balloon was just like pushing, I don't know, it was just awful. I couldn't sleep, so I was so tired in the airport. I went to the pharmacy, I got some medicine, went to sit down, took medicine. It was too hot where I was sitting, so I moved spots, slept for a couple hours, and then while I was sleeping, I had a dream about where did I put my GoPro, which was what I was filming on. Got awake, searched all my stuff, went to look, and nowhere. I cried a lot, it was fine. Now I'm like in a good place about it, but it was definitely devastating. Like to have all of my, in 3 weeks, every single one of my flights had been delayed or canceled or moved around somehow, and none of them had gone smoothly. And then to get a cold while I was traveling to Europe for my full-time travel, and then to lose my GoPro, which I was filming about, just was kind of the last drip in the barrel. So it was just kind of miserable. I got to Barcelona, slept the whole next day, and it ended up being okay. So on my way to see the Montjuice Castle show, I saw this last time I was here and it was fabulous. It's like one of the top 10 fountain shows in the world. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this while walking, but whatever. There are hordes of people like running, but it lasts at least an hour, so it's a really long time. Going to end my videos. Oh, I gotta catch my train.